Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. We're on the PTR today because Lunara and Diablo got some pretty sizable reworks here. And rather than jumping into a game and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with these, we're going to add in an extra special theory crafting video for both characters. So if you like
the fields of Kalimdor.
Baby girl, I'm talking. So if you like long, drawn out, boring looks at I usually say the newest character into the Nexus, then you're going to enjoy this. If you don't want to hear my thoughts on new Lunara, if you don't want to hear about every new talent, then you have been warned, and go ahead and see yourself out now, good sir.
Call to me.
So, with both of these reworks, with the Lunara and the Diablo one, they said that they want to hold on to the old playstyles, the old builds that worked for Lunara. You still should be able to use. They wanted to update the characters, add some more options, and open up more varieties in playstyle. So translation, people were picking one build. They decided they like that build and they want to keep it in the game, but they want people to be able to actually choose other talents instead of just going down that single path.
Where's the excitement?
This is one of her new skins for the upcoming event. It looks incredible. Like, it looks amazing. Look at that. Okay, so the Wisp has some new functionality. If you send the Wisp into a shrubbery, which there's only one on this map, after it's there for 2 seconds, it'll expand. So you get more vision from that being in a bush. And then it looks like you can continue to move it in this bush. And you can continue to move it as much as you want. I think she has a brand new talent tree here. Level 4 used to be her Wisp talent level. So it looks like the Nimbo Wisp is baseline. You can't split it up into pieces anymore. But she does have a new talent at level 1 to go along with the new Wisp. And this is after remaining in a bush for 5 seconds. Yo, I'm gonna need you to stop or hold. I've pressed both S and H.
Allergies.
And neither of them work.
Where's the excitement?
Please stop attacking. What the fuck? After you leave it in a bush for 5 seconds, it's going to expand even more. So again, we had... Here, let's get rid of the bots. Toggle. Select enemy hero. None. Select ally hero. None. And we want to toggle minions. So you can actually see how much vision you're getting here, right? You don't want the minions kind of skewing our results. So, it is on a 30-second cooldown. So if they kill it, you're going to miss it, right?
Growing strong.
You're going to miss it. Could be down for a while. But this is the 200... What is it? 200%? I'm not sure. But this is the 2-second expansion. And then this is the increased 200%, excuse me. After 5 seconds, it should expand again. Whoa! Wow!
Fine then.
That's a massive area. Chat's also saying that it reveals stealth. Wow. Oh yeah, and it reveals surrounding area. Huh. Well, that seems good. Our other option was the natural perspective, which was the go-to at level 1. You kind of took this, so if enemies were running into a bush, you would always have their toxin on. You would have toxin on them, and you'd be able to chase after them, no problem. That was the former go-to. And then we have, I believe this is a new talent. If it's not, I apologize. The Hippity Hop. After not basic attacking or taking damage for 5 seconds, it's going to increase the movement speed bonus of Dryad Swiftness by 10%. Now, the way movement works on Lunara normally is if you look at the numbers, it's actually all over the place. You can see it goes up to 170 and then to 50. I don't know if you guys can see that well. I'll zoom in on it. Please hold. We're zooming. We're zooming. We're zooming. Okay, right here. Do you like the background? Okay, right here. So take a look at our movement speed.
Where's the excitement? Whenever
we move, it goes all over the place. And the idea is that if you take the average out of this, I believe her movement speed is at 120%. I believe. because she doesn't have a mount. Like, that's how she gets around everywhere. So this is good for actually moving across big maps, which has been one of the limiting factors of actually playing Lunara, because she's at such a disadvantage when she actually has to go long distances. So cool. All that seems cool. Get this panel out of the way. Set level 20. Let's take a look at the next talent tier. I did recognize one of these at least. Wait, are these all just moved around? I think these are all moved around. Okay, so let's go with the new Sentinel talent. Then we have Blossom Swell, increases Noxious Blossom's range by 25% and the radius by 20%. I do not believe this is new either.
The stream, Pally. Thanks
C
for
button
helping
shows
me
passive.
learn so much and look at my fave heroes from a diff perspective.
I will renew these lands.
No problem, man. So this will just make it so we can cast our Q from further away and make it easier to hit because it's not the biggest radius in the world. That looks so good. Look at this. That's so pretty. Cool. Oh, by the way, how all this works is like you can poison multiple enemies and then use your Q and like poison more. And then if you ever hit your W, it gives them one more poison stack. And the idea is you want 3 poison stacks on as many people as possible. And your W is also going to slow down targets that you use it on. So you can kind of prime up a bunch of enemies and then hit your W. And then they start taking, you know, more poison damage than they were before. That's kind of the basic idea of playing Lunara. Just in case you didn't know, just in case you were tuning in to see what the character was about for the first time. It's all about staying far away, using your increased movement speed, kiting, and then when you get up to 2 stacks of poison, detonating it to get a 3rd, and making that target take increased damage.
For the wild.
Okay. Siphoning Toxin was terrible before. I would actually like to check to see if they increased the numbers at all. So this was her old talent tree. Siphoning Toxin moved from level 7. Heal amount reduced. Okay. When an enemy hero has 3 stacks, Nature's Toxin and its healing is increased to 28 per second. So think about this like Ana and her healing. This is never going to save you. If someone wants to kill you, they're probably going to kill you. But it can make your life easier in between fights. That's kind of how I've always viewed it. Now, that being said, 42 per second healing doesn't seem that bad, but remember, it has to be on a hero. Now, what I want to know is, can we get more healing if we have it on multiple enemies? Don't kill me, though. Thank you. Appreciate you. Go away. So let's go to level... Here, let's just pick something.
Choose a talent.
So, 1, 2... So it's critting for 61 at level 20. So one application... He was poisoned forever. One application of the poison is 20 health per second. 2 applications, still 20. Then you hit 3, and it goes up to 61. So you don't really get any benefit for AoEing with this either. I've never liked this talent. I think it kind of... See, when it was added, it was when most assassins had Vampiric Assault. So most assassins would be attacking you, and you expect to be kind of living through a lot of the punishment that the enemy team is dealing. This was added into the game around the time where that was like super prominent. So I feel like it, at the time, baited a lot of people into thinking, oh, this is what Lunara takes to just trade with people. And I don't think that's the case.
Choose a talent.
Nature's Culling increases Nature's Toxic damage by 150% to non-heroes. So because it doesn't further specify, what this means is objectives as well. So it's minions, monsters, and mercenaries. So keep that in mind. If you want to deal more damage, Nature's Culling is the way to go versus PvE stuff. Honestly, seems like a good talent tree. Like, seems like a good tier.
I hear the call of Kalimdor.
All right. Does this only heal? Does this really only heal versus heroes? Well, at least one enemy is affected with Nature Toxin. Heal for 20 per second when an enemy hero. So it has 2 different functions. Okay. I personally would probably go for the Nature's Culling.
Choose a talent.
Fine then.
Oh, and structures as well. Very true, chat. Thank you. Splintered Spear was my go-to before. Using Noxious Blossom causes Lunara's next basic attack to hit up to 4 enemies. These extra attacks can apply Nature's Toxin. So there was a lot of there is and was a lot of cool functionality with this. So for instance, if you knew a fight was coming up, you could just go ahead and use your Q. Remember, your Q has a small cooldown, 8 seconds. But like, you can use this whenever, and Splintered Spear still procs. It doesn't have a time limit. So then when it's time to go fight, you auto attack, then you can Q again, and pretty much spread your toxin to everyone on the screen. There's better implementations. Let me do that one more time, because you would want to proc your W faster. But you see what I'm saying? You can get triple stacks up on the enemy team really, really quickly. So we would want to Q, get that ready. Then when we go into a fight,
Enemies of the forest. I just
attack Q, attack W. Boom. Now they're all taking a bunch of damage, and you feel really good about yourself. I believe this is new. Noxious Blossom deals 50% more damage to heroes affected by Nature's Toxin. Increased to 100% against enemies with 3 stacks. I think she had a talent similar to that before, but maybe this was combined with some other things. So basically, if you already have your passive on the target, your Q is going to deal more damage. If you have 3 stacks, your Q is going to deal even more damage. Let's see what that number is actually like.
Choose a talent.
So
let's
go for it. We would want to go for the radius on that most likely. So with 1 stack, our Q at level 20. Oh, hold on. I think I skewed it. Let it go away. At level 20, right? No stacks, it's 351. 1 stack is 526.
Intruders.
And 3 stacks is 702. Whoa! On an 8-second cooldown.
Growing strong.
That's a lot of damage. That's more for like single target assassinations, I feel like, where this is kind of like spreading around AoE damage. So different purposes for sure. And it makes it use the ability in different ways. But that seems real good.
Renew these lands.
That seems real good. So it's like 1 auto attack, this, 1 more, and then we did 1,600. It's still ticking. We did 1,600 damage with that at level 20. It's still going. 2,000. 2,090 damage.
Fine then.
Make sure that wasn't a fluke.
The forest fights back.
I think maybe I landed an extra auto attack in there, but look how fast you can do that. That was just 2 auto attacks, a W and a Q. And then you could walk the fuck away. That's pretty amazing. Wild Vigor. Use Crippling Spores. Using Crippling Spores increases the damage of Lunara's next 4 basic attacks. She definitely had that before, and I don't recall it being very good. But she definitely had that before. So basically, if there's still attack range, yeah, there is. You can just hit harder from a distance. I don't think her ult's changed at all. This still has 2 charges, allows us to leap over an enemy, slowing them for 80%. So if we take that into consideration with our choking pollen, right? It would be...
This was never your land.
Like, that's our damage burst right there. Ah! What the fuck? 3,161 damage.
Well,
That's terrifying. That's fucking terrifying.
I just love watching you do it.
Oh, it's so scary. That's so scary. Okay. Then level 13, Endless Spores. Casting Crippling Spores while at least 2 heroes are affected by Nature's Toxin reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. So casting Crippling Spores, that's our W, while 2 heroes are affected by Nature's Toxin, that's our trait, takes 3 seconds off the cooldown, bringing it down to 7 seconds. So obvious synergy here with Splintered Spear. Makes it super easy to spread your toxin around. If at least 2 people have the toxin, you can use your slow more often. So more crowd control, and it keeps your poison uptime so much longer. So that seems like a really good synergy. Let Them Wither. Increase Crippling Spores slow duration by 1 second and causes it to no longer decay. Again, just good crowd control. Again, obvious synergy with Splintered Spear again, because you're going to be spreading that around everywhere. Also, the Thornwood Vine is great for spreading your trade around, and Let Them Wither could proc the slow off of that too. Greater Spell Shield. Every 30 seconds gains 75 spell armor against the next enemy ability and subsequent abilities for 3 seconds. This is the best spell shield in the game, to my knowledge. And if you are even a little worried about the magic damage that the enemy team is going to deal, it's very good to pick this up. Now, Abolish Magic used to be her 20? Is that right? Are we level 13? Abolish Magic moved from level 20. Holy shit. So, target an ally to remove all damage over time effects and dispel effects from them and Lunara for 2 seconds after. The duration of disabling effects is reduced by 50%. So it's not a full cleanse, but if they are CC'd, you can help them get out. And if Gul'dan just landed a sick corruption, you can remove that damage entirely. Fucking interesting for an assassin of all characters to have that. Really, really interesting. But yeah, Greater Spell Shield is great, and these two increases your slows. I kind of think I would go for Spell Shield just to keep myself alive a little bit more. So, Accelerated Contamination. While at least 2 enemy heroes are affected with Nature's Toxin, Noxious Blossom cooldown recharges 100% faster. Oh, that's where things start to get interesting, because you can mix and match your talents now. Oh. Actually, I think you could just go for a straight up. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna think about those possibilities once we go over the rest. Using Crippling Spores increases Lunara's basic attack range by 2.75 seconds for 6 seconds. This was, I believe, the go-to before. Because she's so squishy, you need to sit back and keep yourself safe. This was a great way to do it. Keep in mind, if we use Crippling Spores, it has a 10-second cooldown. If we are able to pick up Endless Spores, that means it has a 7-second cooldown. That means you would only have 1 second of downtime on your improved attack range. And it's quite a big buff. So this is our attack range right now.
Choose a talent.
And this is our attack range now. That's a lot further back. And they're still in Q range here, too. But that's what I usually went for. Plus, because you're faster than enemies, it makes it easier for you to chase them down and land these auto attacks in between. And then, you know, still get close enough to, like, jump over their head and do stuff like that. So, I always went for the attack range before. Then we have Crippling Spores, grants 30% attack speed for 6 seconds. Basic attacks against enemy heroes with 3 stacks of Nature's Toxin. Deal damage equal to 1.5% of their maximum health. I don't think that was part of that before. Yeah, awesome. So she has a giant killer. Awesome. So it's not just attack speed. It's also percentage-based health damage for when you have Diablos and Garroshes and Cho'Galls. Very cool. That definitely makes that talent a little bit more appealing. Crippling Spores grants 30% attack speed for 6 seconds. So same thing. If you're able to get good use out of Endless Spores, you would only have 1 second of downtime on that damage. But again, you're making yourself a lot squishier by not getting Greater Spell Shield. Then we have Unfair Advantage. Nature's Toxin deals 6% more damage to heroes that are slowed, rooted, or stunned. Oh, was that always 13, or was that always 16, or was that earlier? Now I kind of want to look. It was 13. Fuck. Okay, so this is actually a difficult talent here. This one's real hard. Unfair Advantage used to be a level 13, and that was like such a huge damage spike for her. because remember, she applies her own slow with her W ability.
Intruders.
So as long as you have someone slowed, your poison would be dealing more damage. That's gonna be... I don't know how I feel about this talent here. This one's hard. This one's challenging. Then at level 20, we have Boundless Stride. All Leaping Strike charges are returned every 15 seconds. Leaping Strike can be used on allies. Intensifying Toxin. At 3 stacks, Nature's Toxin deals 40% more damage. Holy fuck. Wow. Okay. And then Galloping Gate activates to increase your movement speed to 80% for 6 seconds. I do want to see if that stacks with this thing at level 1.
Choose a talent.
Where's the excitement?
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
So this is us just chilling. It's peaking at... I don't know. How would you tell if they stack? Lunara is 20% faster. Okay. So if I just activate this, let's see if we zoom. And then the Forest Wrath. Thor Divine now applies 2 stacks of Nature's Toxin. Oh, that's good. And it increases the... That wasn't there before, right? It was just the range and radius. So it applies 2 stacks of poison. That means if you... Oh, that's so fucking good. That means if you want to use
Choose a talent.
the other ultimate, right?
I can use
Thor
that.
Divine.
talent.
Blah, blah, blah,
Choose
blah.
a talent.
If you get a sweet lineup like this, it's just 1 R and then your W to proc that poison on a whole team. And then that's easy as shit to maintain.
I will renew these lands.
Wow. Okay, so some interesting prospects here. We'll go ahead and reset talents. So, it depends on the map, but I think I would still go for natural perspective. Sentinel Wisp seems really fucking good, though. Really good. But the fact that you already get the radius increase if you're chilling in a bush is probably enough in most cases. Probably. I hope. Then here, I would probably do Nature's Culling. No matter the map, honestly. I feel like this is such an easy talent to increase your whole team's effectiveness. But, disclosure, I'm one of those guys that's always like, soak XP! Let's do XP! Hey, let's get a mercenary camp while we can't get XP because our lane's too pushed up. So for me and my playstyle, Nature's Culling here is great. Also keep in mind that this is minions, mercenaries, monsters, and structures. Non-heroes. It's all of those things. So you get objectives faster, you kill buildings faster, and this might stack up later on. We're getting there, though. So this is my choice. But Blossom Swell seems great. Siphoning Toxin, I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's that good at all. Especially in a dive meta, a burst damage kind of thing going on. If you are relying on Siphoning Toxin to save you, it will not provide enough healing fast enough. Like, look at Jim Raynor and his E ability, and he still dies like a wet noodle.
Choose a talent.
Let's see. Then, this one's actually difficult. I don't care about Wild Vigor at all. Although it might help clear camps out faster. But I think it's between Choking Pollen and Splintered Spear, depending on what you want to do. So if you want to spread teamfight AoE damage, it's that. If you want to kill a motherfucker, it's going to be Noxious Blossom. So, again, that's 3 stacks for a 702 fucking damage crit
Taste my spear.
at level 20. Let's see what it does at level 7, actually. I kind of want to know.
Choose a talent.
So at level 7, we have
Choose a talent.
That will be good.
1,883 HP.
A thorn in your side.
Oh, I used that wrong. Stupid. Toggle cooldowns. Wait for it to come back.
Growing strong.
Come on. Stop dealing damage. There we go. Okay. So 1, 2, 421. So in that short amount of time, I did well over half my HP bar in damage. We did 1,200 damage and we only have 1,800. That's fast. That's a lot. And that's like running away too. We could have continued to just sit there and beat the shit out of that guy.
Choose a talent.
Okay.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
So choking pollen.
Choose a talent.
I like leap strike because that makes us even stronger. That's so fucked up. Oh my god, that's so much damage. Holy shit. And then... increasing Crippling Spores slow duration by 1 second. It causes it to no longer decay. No. Cast Crippling Spores while at least 2 heroes are affected by Nature's Toxin to reduce its cooldown. Not important to this build, at least right now. Let's go with the Spell Shield. Then, while at least 2 enemy heroes are affected with Nature's Toxin, Noxious Blossom's cooldown recharges 100% faster. So we're going to be able to spam Qs out like crazy. And I think that is imperative to this. But, yeah, we're going with that. We're going with that for sure. Because look how easy that is to do. Right? We're coming into this situation, even without the Splintered Spear, it's...
I just love watching them wilt.
Like, this is no problem. This is easy upkeep. That's easy upkeep. Ain't no thing. You still have your W ability to help with this.
I hear the call of Kalimdor.
That seems fucking good. And then I would go for the Intensifying Toxin as well. At 3 stacks, Nature's Toxin deals 40% more damage. But what I'm wondering is... Okay, take that out of the scenario, right? So let's remove the difficulty even more. Let's make this even more accessible. We go for Unfair Advantage, so Nature's Toxin deals 60% more damage to heroes that are slowed. Right? And then you pick up Intensifying Toxin as well. So we still have the increased damage here with Choking Pollen.
Taste my spear.
I want to see what the single target damage is. Kind of hit multiple enemies there. I want to just go for this guy.
I seek the enemies of the forest.
So again, I think we could get more overall damage out of accelerated contamination. I do think so. But it takes more upkeep, right? You got to have higher APM. This might be easier.
Fine then.
So let's see. Look at that. Look at that. That's fucked. Oh my god. Ugh.
Growing strong.
It's so scary. Jeez. I'm gonna do it one more time. Oh, we don't even need our second charge. Fuck it. That's so scary. Alright. The other option. I think this one's fucking solid, by the way. I think this one's really good. The other option, I think, would be... Again, you're kind of picking between Sentinel Wisp and Natural Perspective.
Choose a talent.
Then going into... I don't know. I still think I would do Nature's Culling. But then Splintered Spear.
For the wild.
Leap Strike. Let's go with casting Crippling Spores while at least 2 heroes are affected by Nature's Toxin. Reduces its cooldown by 3 seconds.
Choose a talent.
Then we would go for an attack range increase here. So we can AoE all the time on as many people as possible. Right? We reduce our cooldown. We're keeping all these guys slowed. We're just trying to deal as much damage as we can. That being said, would accelerated contamination go well with this instead of the increased range? The increased range is huge, right? It's a really big advantage. But Let's try that.
Choose a talent.
Let's try that.
Choose a talent. Choose a
Non-heroes.
talent. Choose a
Splintered
talent.
Spear. Leap
Choose a
Strike.
talent.
Casting Crippling Spores while at least 2 heroes are affected. Reduces the cooldown.
Choose a talent.
And then this will also have a reduced cooldown. Because we're always going to have 2 heroes affected by
Choose a
Nature's
talent.
Toxin. And then we want to go for Intensifying
Well.
Toxin again. So...
A thorn in your side. I hear the call of Kalimdor.
I mean... Really easy to keep your trait on everything.
Some weeding.
Really easy. Really fucking easy.
I will renew these.
But look how much mana that used. What was our mana when we started that? I'm not sure. I think this talent's busted, and it's going to be the way to go. I think Choking Pollen is busted, and it's going to be the way to go. It seems so fucking strong. But, changes overall, liked him.
I see
Good.
the enemies of the forest.
She still has the same feel, which I think is what they were going for. She's still going to have a high-risk, high-reward playstyle because she does not have much health. Hanzo can kill you in just a couple attacks, which is why the spell shield is there. And I think they did a really cool job of making this talent tier about, you know, potentially you could deal some more damage with some stuff. Or do you want to keep yourself safe? Like, do you want to slow your enemies more, or do you want to keep yourself safe? Which is cool. I think Abolish Magic is still weird, though. Overall, cool changes. I liked them.
Where's the excitement?
Actually, really looking forward to try it out. I can't believe I'm actually excited to play Lunara. What a world we live in. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Diablo. If you guys enjoyed our Theorycrafting video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.